Cool. Little laggy on my end to start, but it's all good. What's not lagging is NFL free agency. Especially our Giants. I am a very happy Giants fan so far, and Brian is too.
Mhm.
As we kick off day 2 of the free agency period. What's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday. Episode 66 of season 2 is now live of the Third and 10 podcast. I'm Nate, joined always by my guy, Brian Germanaro. Brian, how you doing, man? A lot of good things happening in sports so far with our Giants. We'll talk about them in just a bit. Your Mets, Juan Soto has been on such a tear
On
lately.
fire. On
On
fire.
fire.
Did another home run last night, went 2 for 3 in the spring training game. Francisco Lindor just wants to play every single inning of baseball ever, which is
Love it.
awesome. But yeah, no,
Love it.
a lot of things going well right now in New York sports.
Heck yeah. Also, there is some sort of film or documentary
Yeah,
coming out
so
by the Mets. What's going on with that?
yeah, so it's a YouTube video about basically
Okay.
like the pursuit of Juan Soto, like what the Mets did and how they landed him. Yeah, so it's a cool little behind the scenes of okay, what did they do to actually land him? So it's if you're a baseball like fan, like the intricacies of the offseason, or a Mets fan in general, you're gonna love this video. Comes out Friday on the Mets YouTube channel.
I love it. They should do that for the Giants if we ever sign like someone like really big.
Yeah, well, I think
Obviously,
I think Hard Knocks offseason was supposed to be that, and then it blew up so spectacularly in our face that no team wants to do it again.
that's crazy. Yeah, we were the first
We
and
were the
last
guinea
team
pigs,
to
and
ever
it's like,
do
okay, we never want to do that ever because we just got clowned on all year.
like teams saw the exposure that was kind of put on the Giants, or the Giants were exposed, basically, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you know what? If we make bad moves and we're in Hard Knocks offseason, we're
Yeah,
gonna get exposed just like that.
which stinks because
We'll
like
pass.
every team makes bad moves now and then. Like it's impossible to go
Yeah,
perfect. It just happens like at the perfect timing. We get this.
I know. I was so excited for us to be on that show. But you know what?
It
It's
was
all
great
good.
content. We made great content out of it. It helped
It
a lot during the
was
summer last year, and it was just
I
something to do on Tuesdays. Like, oh, the Giants thing's coming out tonight. Awesome. We get to,
that's
just see the Giants logo and the Giants players. Like, oh, cool, football.
true. That is true. It did help us have a few good episodes, I will say, during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, we're not in that show no more. But we did make some great signings.
Yeah, why can we have
That
this offseason be it? Like, why
That's
can't we
what
have
I'm
this?
saying. That's what I'm saying. We got one heck of a player this morning. We made a few moves on day 1. We brought back a familiar face that I'm actually happy that we brought back for the money that we did get him at. So we'll talk all about that. But of course, the show isn't about the Giants; it's about the other 31 teams as well. And a lot of teams made a lot of great signings. So we'll get to all of that as well. Plus, towards the end of the show, we'll discuss more about our baseball previews as we move on to the AL and NL Central.
The loser divisions.
So yeah, kind of the boring divisions out of the 3 that exist between the East Central and the West.
Mm-hmm.
Last week was the West that we discussed, and that was fun. But the Central might be a little bit boring today because we kind of have it's. I feel like I could predict that we kind of have the same winners for each division, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week is going to be a very fun show as we will talk about the AL and NL East with more than likely a 30-minute segment on the Mets themselves. So
Yeah, probably.
we'll see what happens next week to say the least. But
If you're not a baseball fan, just don't tune in next week. It's gonna be fun.
yeah, it's
you
probably
can
not the
skip
best
it.
idea.
I want you to watch every episode. You might be able to skip next week.
Exactly. But without further ado, we might as well get right into it. NFL free agency kicked off with a bang yesterday. Let's start with
Dang,
the
Sunday
other
night.
teams first.
Sunday night started off with a bang. As soon as the DK move happened, it was just a free fall.
That was a fantastic move. I heard that he wanted to go somewhere warm, and they said, "Nah, we'll
Warm
send
and
you."
a contender. All right, Pittsburgh, not warm and a contender. I guess you can call the Steelers a contender, but like,
They're like a wild card.
their quarterback is Kyle Allen. They still don't have a quarterback.
Because Russ is
Like
Russ is a free agent.
This is literally putting the cart before the horse.
Because Russ is a free agent. Justin Fields is going to the Jets.
Love that
So
for the Jets. If you're a Jets fan, I'd be ecstatic about that move.
Oh yeah, Matt Ordazzo, who's one of the hosts on the Corner Booth podcast that I'm
Hmm.
part of, he was quite happy with the move.
Yeah,
Uh, you bank on his upside. You you still believe in him. He's shown he can win as a starter. I mean, you saw
yeah.
his Steelers.
He had Matt Eberflus as his head coach.
Yeah, and now he has. Well, I mean,
Aaron Glenn,
Aaron Glenn, who's a DC
who's their
defensive
OC.
minded guy. Their OC. I wish I looked this up.
But at least
It,
Aaron Glenn is coming from like the Dan Campbell coaching tree, and like we don't know what that coaching is going to look like because it's just starting out. But if he can build a culture for the Jets similar to what they have with the Lions, it's going to work out because the Jets and Lions are two very similar franchises historically, where they're no more for like losing and embarrassing moments than success. So if he could
mm,
build something similar to Detroit for the Jets, I think Fields going to work out very nicely there. We saw it with Goff. It worked with Goff.
oh yeah. Tanner Engstrand is the name of the OC for the Jets. He was the passing game coordinator with the Lions
All right.
under Campbell and
He fixed
Ken
Jared Goff
Johnson.
or helped fix Jared Goff. So,
That is true.
I mean, if you
That
think
is
about it,
true.
Fields and Goff were in a similar situation where like they're both kind of seem like their last destination or their
Yeah.
last chance to be a starter. So just I know Goff is a little different of a quarterback than Justin Fields is, but if you can apply the same sort of like, you know, structure to Fields and Goff, you probably could get something out of him.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
Fields did
So
show flashes in Chicago. Like he did have a couple decent seasons.
that is true. That is
If
true.
the Bears didn't have the Panthers pick, he's probably still out there in
Yeah.
Chicago being the starter, or still trying to make it work at least.
I think the moves the Bears made this offseason and last year,
Mhm.
getting weapons, getting better protection, they should have done the same thing for Fields. Now,
Yes.
it's quite some time now, and the past
Yeah.
is the past,
Hindsight's
but
2020, but
yeah, it would have been nice to see that for Fields. But now he gets to be on a team with the Jets who have a pretty good offensive line.
hmm
Maybe last year it didn't see him that way. But let's be honest, Aaron Rodgers is kind of a sitting duck. Fields has more mobility to him, so the offensive line has kind of like less pressure to kind of have to maintain their protection because they know if it breaks down, Fields can scramble out and create
hmm
yards with his legs. But
And
great
who's
move
the
by the
number one
Jets.
receiver? Who's the Jets' number one receiver?
Garrett Wilson,
That was
which
Fields' number
and
one target at Ohio State. So you
I
already
love
had the built-in connection there,
I love
which was
that.
the biggest problem Rodgers had with Wilson was they couldn't connect.
I think that's one of the things I like as college reunions. I like when
Yeah.
quarterbacks and receivers or quarterbacks and running backs kind of reunite in the NFL. Kind of gives them like familiarity
hmm
with the teammate,
Yeah.
and kind of have that connection like you mentioned with like Fields and Wilson or a Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne who played
Burrow and Chase,
together at
which I think is
Clemson.
the
Burrow
prime
and Chase,
example of this kind of.
yes.
I think that's what made this a thing in the NFL is okay reuniting. It worked with
Hmm.
them because
Yeah.
Burrow was good his rookie season, but he definitely got to a next level when they brought in Chase.
Yes, definitely. I wish the Giants had that quarterback receiver reunion type thing.
hmm
If we whoever we do sign, if we sign Rodgers, obviously it's too late to get Devontae Adams, who
Yeah,
was
which I'm
signed.
surprised. I thought he was gonna wait till Rodgers to sign,
Me too, but he
or
was
like,
like, I guess
maybe Derek
yeah,
Carr, or like go with Derek Carr, like trying to be somewhere his friends are.
yeah. For him to go to the Rams and pair up with Matthew Stafford, who uh you know is back with the Rams. I was like, okay, maybe he cared more about the West Coast. Oh, okay. Honestly, I'm glad that if it wasn't going to be with us,
hmm
it was to a team like the Rams. Because I was like, I would have been happy if Rodgers and Adams were on the same team again with us.
Yeah.
But since he wanted to prefer the West Coast more, I'm glad that he's not just picking a team just because. I don't know how to describe my
No, I
feeling.
know
Like,
he didn't pick like he didn't pick that's Denver's I think the West Coast. He didn't pick like the Cardinals, a team that can
yeah,
like be it's like right there and we'll just throw him over the top. He's
he
not
went to
ring
a
chasing it.
contender. Yeah, he went to a contender. He didn't factor his decision again on a bet on his going with his best friend Carr or
hmm
Rodgers or whatever. He was like, I want to go to the West Coast, and he picked the team with the Rams. Who, let's face it, he's a better fit on the Rams because he kind of fills in that X receiver slot
Yeah.
with Nakua on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Nakua can be in the slot, all the things, and Cooper Cup is going to be released tomorrow, barring any trade today.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I do like Cooper Cup on the Rams, but let's be honest, he kind of struggled last year, and his production went downhill. Plus, injuries kind of took a toll on Cup as well last year. So we'll see what happens with
1 year
that
deal
and
with
what
the Giants. Would love it.
I would love that. I think. Okay, I was gonna say we
So
shouldn't
you need to
have
bring
an
a quarterback
emergency
in
show.
first. You need a quarterback first because you need to sell Cup on the idea of a quarterback. Because I think the defense, we'll get to this later, but I think this Giants defense is going to be head and shoulders better than it was last year.
That secondary looks so much
It's
better.
the secondary. The defensive line. There's a move I think I really like. It's going underrated, and we'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that secondary, I don't want to say it's Legion of Boom, but it has the potential to be top 10 in this league.
On paper, it looks like a top 10 unit.
Mm-hmm.
All I ask is that Shane Bowen does not mess this up. Please. No. Please.
But I'm hoping Joe Shane worked with Bowen this offseason. Okay.
I
what
hope so.
Players are you looking for, and what players can I bring in that you can work with?
Yeah. And it seems like it so far.
Yeah.
It seems like a Debo. I'm getting. We'll say the Giants.
Debo, I mean, when I saw we signed a Debo, I was ecstatic. I'm like, no way. And you heard like Bobby Skinner and Talking Giants going, this guy didn't break his femur. He's the best cornerback on this market. I'm like, okay, if that's the kind of guy we're going to target, that's some like Moneyball type stuff. When like, this is him. He plays great. His only problem is his leg doesn't work.
Yeah, that leg injury was a bit brutal, but when he is healthy, he is one of the
best. I mean, anytime you hear broken femur, it's the biggest bone in your body. There's concern.
Yeah. Big concern to say the least. But super glad we got him, and we'll get into we'll dive in depth into each move the Giants made towards the middle of the show. But we'll go through each position, I guess. For
what the best
so
move
far.
was.
Yeah. We'll start with the quarterbacks. Geno Smith to the Raiders for a 2025 third round pick. That was shocking. I will say that was a shocking one. But the Raiders at least don't have the pressure of having to draft the quarterback. They can kind of wait till the second, third, middle rounds, whatever they want to do. Draft the running back at number 7 if they or 6 if they so choose. I'm just saying.
I saw a lot of Bears fans were hopping on the Gentry train. A lot of Bears fans were like, okay, don't hate that.
Don't hate that at all. We talked about Justin Fields, 2-year, $40 million deal to the Jets. Joshua Dobbs going to the Patriots. So Joe Milton, I'm just saying, he's someone to monitor if you're the Giants.
I think they're trying to move him too. So
yes, they are. It's official that they are trying to move him to a team that will be able to help him develop better. Not sure if that's the Giants, but hey, you never know. Zach Wilson heads to the Dolphins on a 1-year, $6 million deal. So he goes from Denver to Miami, where he'll back up Tua Tagovailoa and possibly start a few games. Let's be honest, because of Tua's history with injuries. DTR and a 5th round pick is headed to the Eagles for Kenny Pickett, who heads to Cleveland. So after winning a ring, Pickett is headed to the Browns, where he'll
someone. They had the Kenny Pickett throw when he did the whole body motion and didn't let go of the ball. And he fell. Yeah. And someone goes, this man was destined to be a Cleveland Browns quarterback after this one. I'm like, Browns, that's perfect.
If the Browns don't draft the quarterback, their quarterback room is going to look like crap. Pickett, maybe they bring back Winston. I don't know. And Deshaun Watson, obviously.
Deshaun Watson's not playing next year, so it doesn't matter.
That's right. So it's going to be... yeah.
Unless you're still committed to Watson, where Pickens is like your bridge quarterback till Watson comes back. But if that's your plan, you're a moron. So
I think they fixed his contract, Watson's.
Yeah, it's still egregious though.
Yeah, just say
it's still horrific.
They'll pay him minimum money this year and then a lot of money next year. Simply put,
it's kind of like it was a big fire and they put the fire out, and now it's just like the remains of the building. It's like, oh, we put the fire out. It's like, well, yeah, but now we have to rebuild the building. The building's still destroyed.
It's still a mess right here.
We just got the big problem out of the way. We still got a major problem here.
Jimmy Garoppolo resigns with the Rams. 1 year, $4 million, I believe, was the deal. And then Daniel Jones finding a team today. Not bad. Going to the Colts. I've seen a lot of like, this is what you get Colts for. Um, ruining our draft pick. Let's be honest, it wasn't their
That's pretty good.
fault.
That's pretty
Okay,
good.
it wasn't their fault that they were bad,
It was Drew Lock's
but
fault. It was Drew
it
Lock's fault.
was Drew
Drew Lock
Lock's
had a
fault.
historic game, okay? Drew Lock
I
is the
know.
only Giants quarterback to throw for 300 yards, 3+ touchdowns, and rush for a touchdown in the game. No, the Giants were playing football for 100 years, and no quarterback had done that before Drew Lock.
We could have used that at any other point during the season, but we just had to do it
That
in
could have
week
come from Daniel
17.
Jones in the divisional round against the Eagles in
I
2022.
know that
Like,
would have helped out a lot more than now.
yeah.
She's going to give us a little bit of hope for Jones,
It
but
was competitive. It would have been a competitive football game.
exactly, it would
It
have
would
been
have been just like, oh, this game's over in the first quarter.
would have had a fighting shot.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. But I'm happy for him. Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, yes. That's
There
the
you go.
nickname
I
I've
love
heard.
it.
Does Daniel Jones have some of the best nicknames? Because he's had Danny Dimes, Vanilla Vic, and now Indiana Jones. He's got just
Vanilla
someone just
Vic.
like, he's got a nice, like, nickname, repertoire.
If he was good for us, I would have gotten a jersey that would have said Vanilla Vic. I think it would
Vanilla
be
Vic was hysterical. When I found out Vanilla Vic, I'm like, I am only going to call him that from now on. That is hysterical.
But I'm happy for him. I really am. I know I'm always happy for him. I'm always a supporter of him. I know his play wasn't great here, but for him to go to Minnesota and have a chance to be in the playoffs again, even if it's just a backup, to a chance to be the starter again in Indianapolis, because it's a quarterback competition over there between AR and DJ. So
poor Colts fans. They went from having like Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck to like, well, it's either going to be AR-15 or Daniel Jones. Not great.
but he does. I do hope that Shane Steichen kind of helps him develop faster and better. And who knows, if AR doesn't work out still, you put in Jones in it and see what you got. Look, I think I'm not saying it was the best move for him because if I got
Minnesota.
to choose, I would, yeah. You say Minnesota, you're with, wow, Kevin O'Connell, the head coach, Jake Jettis, Addison, Jones in the backfield, a pretty solid offensive line, a good defense.
Hawkinson went healthy at tight end.
Hawkinson, yes, I think that's a better offensive core. You go to Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor, yeah, Michael Pittman is pretty good receiver still. Josh Downs is another good one as well, but I just felt like
it's similar to what it was with the Giants, where they had a really, really good running back
way,
and like
yes.
subpar offense. Like Michael Pittman's good, but like I don't think you're gonna fight for him as a top receiver in the league.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm happy for him. $14 million on a 1-year deal, kind of a prove it deal. So if he doesn't get re-signed this after next year, he'll find another home. So it would have been funny if he ironically ended up back with the Giants, but
I saw so many Giants fans fighting to get him back. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? He doesn't work here.
We traded him last year.
We released him last year.
We released him last year for a reason. We're not gonna bring him back.
Like NYGP on Twitter, a guy I love. I love his Twitter account. I don't know if it was a troll job or not, but he was in every comment trying to get Daniel Jones on this team. I'm like, did we not watch him play football? Did we not watch him play football for us? He's not good.
We dealt with this last year. It's like, come on.
We did this for 6 years.
Blaine, part of the Belly Up.
Not Blaine.
Sports Network. Hi, Blaine. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. Smith to the Raiders wasn't shocking for me. Carroll has it. Yes, I do
like that Pete Carroll is bringing back a lot of the Seahawks. Yeah. They used to.
Maybe they bring in Tyler Lockett. That'd be a great connection.
I would love it.
Back.
Love it for them.
Like it as well.
I actually would not mind the Giants bringing in Lockett either. I kind of like him.
And the Browns, that is. Yeah. Kenny Pickett. Kenny Two Gloves, baby. Kenny Two Gloves.
That's a good one.
I wonder why he wears 2 gloves, honestly. Isn't it harder to throw the ball with 2 gloves on?
It's much harder to throw the ball with 2 gloves.
Why in the world does
it might be his hand size. His hands are smaller.
So he wears gloves to help make up for
maybe like look bigger. I don't know.
He won a Super Bowl and he played in the Super Bowl. You know what? Props to him, man.
Okay, he played in the Super Bowl. It was 45-0 when he got into the Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah, hey, but he still played.
I'm not saying he didn't play. I'm just saying, like the guy. Nick Sirianni's like, just go in there and just do whatever the hell you feel like. I don't care.
Jalen Hurts wanted to go back in. I saw a clip. He was
Don't blame
like,
him.
he wanted to kill the Chiefs. And I was like, hey, buddy, you are up by like 30.
Well, think about it. This was his revenge. He wants to run that score up. That makes total sense to me. He's a competitor.
You just like
Think
me.
about it. Jalen Hurts' entire career. He got his starting job at Alabama taken away from him by Tua, and he had to go basically prove himself at Oklahoma to even get draft consideration. And then when he got drafted, it was like, well, this guy is going to be a gadget guy like Taysom Hill. There's no way he's going to take Carson Wentz's job from him. And then he did it. So he's always had that chip on his shoulder. He wants it to fight and prove everybody wrong.
He just wants more, man. He just wants more. You can't hate him. I know you can't. I know.
If you wear that bird on the side of your helmet, I will hate you.
Yeah. For example, Saquon Barkley.
No, that's different.
Oh, okay. It's okay. So Saquon's the exception.
No. I still hate Saquon Barkley, but I would. That one's understandable hate.
I got you.
Jalen Hurts is just like, I don't know. If the dude was wearing any other jersey, he'd be awesome. But he's just wearing this.
But since the Eagle, it's like, okay. Staying in the division. Okay.
I hate that. Hate that so much. Speaking of which, you see Abbott Elementary the other night?
No.
Oh, it was amazing. They had a teacher going, the Phillies lost in the playoffs to the Mets. And I was like, yes, me. I was like, it was like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood thing where he's like snapping, pointing at the TV. It's like, oh. It's amazing.
You just hate Philly to the max. You're the biggest Philly hater I ever met.
Mm-hmm. Hate them. I could talk about them neutrally, but when it comes to fan me, absolute hatred for that city.
Thank God this podcast wasn't me being a Philly fan and you being a New York. It would not have worked.
Got a really good name though.
What would you name it?
Probably interstate cities because they're connected by an interstate.
The interstate? Yeah. That's true.
Because they're connected by it. You drive down the interstate, you connect New York to. I forgot what it's called, but that would be what I call it.
That is true. Fair enough. All right. The running backs? Sure. Najee to the Chargers. Yeah. Najee to the Chargers. Javonte Williams to the Cowboys. Samaje Perine to the Bengals after rumors that he's going to be signing with the Bucks. And then Elijah Mitchell to the Chiefs.
I like Elijah Mitchell to the Chiefs. That's a sneaky good one. If Mitchell can stay in the field, he's a decent back.
Yeah, it's going to be between him and Pacheco. Maybe they bring Kareem Hunt back, but Pacheco's on a prove-it year for sure, to say the least. Because last year Kareem Hunt kind of just took the job away. And especially when Pacheco was healthy, he just couldn't get anything going. So I do like Najee to the Chargers for sure. That's my favorite out of the bunch so far.
Say what you want about Najee. He's a guy that plays. He's played 16 games every single year.
1,000 yards plus every year. No matter how you put it, that's production. So props to the Chargers. Better upgrade compared to Gus Edwards and whoever the other running back was J.K. Dobbins. Yeah. Well, he's still there, but still.
Well, Dobbins was fine last year. Just got hurt. Dobbins was really good before he got injured last year.
He was a solid fantasy player for me.
Me too.
Yeah, we both know. Wide receivers. Great moves here. We know about the Deebo Samuel thing to the Commanders. Did we talk about that? I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, good. We talked about Metcalf earlier in the show. Good move for the Steelers. Signed a 4-year, $132 million extension with the Steelers. So good to see that. But other moves, Chris Godwin. Props to him and the Bucks. I'm very happy for both sides. Godwin taking a massive chance to get more money just to stay with Tampa, and Tampa rewards him with a 3-year, $66 million deal. Very happy for him. Gruesome injury last year on Monday Night Football. That was terrible to watch, to say the least. But I'm glad he's back with Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield, who has been kind of rejuvenating himself as a Buccaneer now. I'm so happy for him as well. So Bucks, great move there. Joshua Palmer going to the Bills, a very good route runner. 3 years, $36 million to the Bills. Thank God we didn't get him. And for reasons we'll talk about in just a bit. Diami Brown to the Jags, Justin Watson to the Texans, Braxton Berrios to the Texans as well. Matt Collins to the Patriots, and then
how's Braxton Berrios still in the league?
I don't know. Is he
still dating that?
Alex Earl. Yes.
Is that who's dating? Alex Earl?
Yes. Yeah, I guess that was one of the
Yes. Currently
bigger
dating her
notes.
still. Olivia Kuplo, Sophia Kuplo, that's who I was thinking of.
Gotcha. Yeah, Olivia
Christian
Coppola's Christian
McCaffrey's
McCaffrey.
wife.
Yeah. Oh, real quick before we go into the last receiver on the list, Kyle Juszczyk got released last
I saw that. That
last night.
was interesting.
Niners are going downhill.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
The whole NFC West is.
Yeah, let's be honest. Darius Slayton though, so glad he's back. 3 years, 36 million as well. So same amount of money that he's getting, that Josh Palmer is getting. And let's be honest, I would have preferred Slayton over Joshua.
Yeah,
Palmer.
it's just familiarity with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like really close. He's gonna be a top 5 receiver, like in receiving yards for the Giants all time.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
He's consistent. He's a fighter, man. I mean, even in 2022 when he was benched, he kept his head down, kept working. And he's a guy that let's be honest, I've criticized in the past where I'm like, Lex, man, you're okay, but let's be honest, you can't criticize him too much because bad quarterback play, bad roster, all the things. But I'm glad we rewarded him. And
he did himself no favors when he sat out last year or 2 years ago, whenever he sat out. That's what I think turned a lot of Giants fans. Like, dude, know your place, you know?
Oh, the offseason, I forget.
The offseason when he sat out, remember the contract disputes?
Yeah, that was when
we
were
know your
pissed
place.
off at him. Yeah, so, but he's before last year when we had Neighbors, he was our most consistent receiver, our leading receiver, to be exact. And yeah, I'm glad that he got the money that he deserves and a chance to still be with the Giants and everything. And if we give him a better quarterback, who knows what this might go. So look forward to the Niners in terms of the tight end position, 3 years, 20 million. And that's the only tight end move that's been made so far. Evan Ingram's still on the market. We'll see where he goes, but he has a visit scheduled with the Broncos. So maybe he signs.
It's a nice system for him.
Yeah. I would like to have Evan Ingram if
no, I'm good.
No, you're good? Okay.
Too many bad memories with him. I don't like recycling players, especially players that have bad seasons with us.
Fair enough. All right, offensive line moves. Patrick McCarr to the Jags, Jalen Moore to the Chiefs, Morgan Moses to the Patriots, 3 years, 24 million there. James Hudson to the Giants, 2 years, 12 million. The Texans hate
Giants fans.
CJ Stroud.
That too.
Houston. Yeah, they hate CJ Stroud, basically trading Laremy Tunsil away and a 4th rounder to the Commanders for a 2025 third and a 7th and a 2026 second and a 4th. Ryan Kelly to the Vikings. I have no clue.
When you have a lineman like that, you don't trade him. Right?
I don't know.
The Texans of all teams should know that because they fleeced the Dolphins for him.
Yeah, their protection last year was terrible, and yet they made it worse because they also traded today Kenyon Green, their guard, for C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson. What are you doing?
Why?
Stroud needs time.
I don't know. Are they? I guess they're looking to trade up in the draft for a lineman. Maybe Will Campbell, Armand Nembu. Maybe I have no idea what they want to do.
But still, I don't. So what? They're trying to like garner all these picks so they can move up. That's a video game thing. That's a Madden thing. That's what I used to do on Madden. I trade anyone good, get a bunch of draft picks, and move up.
Well, I can tell that they'll be getting a lot of linemen in this draft. Maybe 2 or 3 to say the least. If I'm Houston, that's the ideal move for me. So,
or you just don't trade your established linemen.
That's Houston for you. Ryan Kelly to the Vikings, Aaron Banks to the Packers, 4 years, 77 million. Robert Haynes to the Jags, Drew Dahlman to the Bears, and then Will Fry is signed today. He was a guy one of the Giants.
I would have killed for the Giants to sign him. Really, just shore up that interior line. Turning into him on at guards, maybe helps out JMS a little bit. But shout out to him. That's a great signing for them. Fry's gonna be great.
Not a lot of guards left on the market, so hopefully the Giants go get one.
We're going in the draft for a guard. He's gonna be like a 3rd round pick. We're gonna draft the guard.
Yeah. Mekhi Becton looks good, if you ask me.
We already had that with Evan Neal.
Yeah, but we need like an established guard.
I know, but like, is Becton really an established guard? He's a guy that basically did the exact same thing that Neal did. That Neal's gonna do. I'd rather just run with Neal and just see.
Sure. I would trust Becton more, but hopefully Neal proves me wrong. Proves me wrong.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders got released by the Panthers, by the way, so
Oh.
that's cool. Yeah, it's
Interesting.
whatever. Yeah. Laken Tomlinson, 1 year, $4.25 million deal with the Texans, and then Christian Fulton. We'll get to him in just a bit. I'm just looking at recent moves that were just made like 20 minutes ago.
I just want the quarterback news to break because it was Daniel Jones that was holding everything
waiting.
up. Apparently.
I know we're literally still waiting. Rodgers, I think I heard reports from Rappaport or someone saying that the Giants told Rodgers, "Hey, we think that you and Malik will bond very well." Yeah, no crap.
And he liked that a lot. Apparently, he was very, very big with that. So
I will say, from a non-biased standpoint, if I'm him, I'd pick Pittsburgh.
But I was watching NFL Network today, and they're like, if he goes to Pittsburgh, yes, you're competing. But Pittsburgh is a very run-heavy team. And I know maybe with DK Metcalf and Pickens it changes a little bit, but Pittsburgh's MO is running the ball. The Giants have shown a willingness to want to throw the ball deep. And when you have Malik Neighbors and Brian Dable, who, worked with Josh Allen and ran a very, throw-heavy scheme there, if you want to air the ball out, the Giants might be your better fit. Sure, you'll have the weapons that Steelers do or the playoff upside, but it might fit where you want to do better. I'm like, all right, that's not a bad argument.
Plus, you don't got to move very far.
No, you don't have to move at all. The training centers are a half hour apart. You can just sit there instead of going a half hour west, you go a half hour east.
Plus, would you rather play for Dable and have him call plays, or Arthur Smith, who's the OC in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Who's famously not used big name receivers at all. Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson,
I saw a joke, actually. It was like all these signings or trades for Metcalf and whatever, just for Darnell Washington and James Warren to score touchdowns. I'm like,
well, the best was Steelers run the ball on like a 3rd and 3, and George Pickens and DK Metcalf down the field. Like a WWE Royal Rumble was going on.
Oh, yeah.
Quarterbacks on the field.
That's going to be an interesting narrative to follow because, like, Pickens is a kind of a dog in terms of, like, he's shown.
They're emotional guys.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to see.
I think this is Tomlin's biggest test because there's such a – I think Tomlin's a good coach, but the one knock you can really get against him is that he's not – has a hard time controlling personalities. We see with Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, how that kind of ended. Marquise Bryant, Deontay Johnson. He's got 2 guys here right now. If he can control them, the narrative kind of goes away.
Changes, yeah.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's always been known for having emotional receivers.
But the emotional players that overshadow the team. Tomlin has been able to control them.
Yeah. So that just speaks to how Tomlin is.
Yeah.
He's a good coach.
He's a good coach, but like at what point, like there's gotta be, I think, a limit with Tomlin. And if he can't control his players, at what point do you think about making a change?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens in there in Pittsburgh. Defense. Is there any notable moves that you like? There's a lot of them, especially a lot of edge rushers signed. I can go through them real quick. Hassan Reddick to the Bucks, Josh Sweat to the Cardinals.
I thought the J.C. Horn signing made no sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, but why that much? I don't know.
And this is the guy that didn't want to be in Carolina last year.
Yeah,
all of a sudden he paid $100 million, and
hey, money talks.
I think he's worth $100 million.
He made a Pro Bowl last year, which is great, but like he's barely been able to stay on the field, so that was like, But Myles Garrett got paid, so that takes him off the trade market. So much for that.
I hate it here. We'll pay you, okay?
Maybe we shouldn't believe trade rumors until they happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we were so hyped.
Myles Garrett did say he wanted to get traded. He did announce it himself. There was it wasn't rumors. It was, I don't want to be here.
But maybe it was all just to get more money. So you know what? Maybe. Props to him. I like Cleo Mack going back to the Chargers.
Yes.
Corners wise, my favorite move is obviously our guy at Debo.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose someone else, I'd choose DJ Reed going to the Lions. 3 years.
That was the guy I wanted the Giants to get to. I like DJ Reed. I think he should be great with the Lions. Nice Darius Slay replacement.
I think I heard Slay is going. He might be going to Pittsburgh, but no deal is imminent yet.
Yeah.
Safeties wise, Andre Cisco goes to the Jets. That's a good move. Cam Bynum goes to the Colts, 4 years, $60 million. And yeah, we mentioned CJG getting traded to Houston. Kufanga to the Broncos. Just looking through them, yeah. I mean, a lot of defensive linemen were signed or re-signed at all, or so far. But
What
not,
trend I think we're going to see. I think a lot of teams are going to build the trenches out because of the Eagles.
yeah. I ain't glad. I just want to get to the Giants already.
Yeah.
Because holy
just
crap.
Just go with it.
Woohoo! We sign people. You know how happy I'm happy when we sign people.
I'm happy when we sign good. We make smart signings because I think coming into this offseason, like it's definitely Brian Dable and Joe Shane's last chance, right? And with that, there's this pressure of winning now, and we've seen guys like Jerry Reese be irresponsible with that. Making all the signs like Olivier Vernon and Jack Rabbit and Snacks Harrison. We saw Dave Gettleman, when his job was on the line, spent too much money on Kenny Galladay. And there was that fear that history was going to repeat itself again with Joe Shane. But Joe Shane has done what he's always done, signing the young players that have high upside, low risk, and not breaking the bank on anybody. The Giants still had like $44 million in cap space. All right. Mm-hmm. Shane's been very smart and is not letting the pressure of, his job possibly being on the line get to him, which I like to see. It makes me confident, like, okay, he is still a really smart GM. He's just been dealt a bad hand so far.
That's right. Yeah, he's not overpaying for guys.
No,
he's not overpaying. He knows the value. He cares about age. That's one of the key points when he signed people so far throughout his Giants GM career. That was evident today, especially. We'll start with today's move first, and we'll go to day ones from the moves from yesterday. Javon Holland, 3 years, a deal that can go up to $46.8 million. It includes $30 million in guaranteed money. Holland's a 4-year starter with the Dolphins. He's the 4th defensive player to join the Giants so far this week. Definitely on paper so far an upgrade, to say the least. And he pairs up with Tyler Nubin in that starting safety role.
That's such a great safety duo.
I love it, man.
People are like ripping on Joe Shane, like, well, you should have just signed Xavier McKinney. It's like, guys, he didn't think he could. He was trying to spend money somewhere else, and he was wrong, and he's rectifying that mistake now. All right, be happy he's admitting he was wrong and fixing it rather than just being stubborn about it.
And I don't mean to be a hater, and I'm kind of bringing in my bias a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I want a safety that won't break their hand on an ATV.
I'm just saying. Won't go to Cabo.
Or go to Cabo or anything like that. So, and Holland's, and I'm just kidding with that, but he's a good safety, and last year with the Packers he was pretty good. But Holland's a young guy, 25 years old. I love it, honestly. He reunites actually with Kayvon Thibodeau, who were teammates back at Oregon. So the two Ducks are reunited once again. So it's good to see Holland pairing up with them. But Holland, 13 games, started as a rookie with the Dolphins, was used mostly as a blitzer back then, and then was named a captain the following season.
Leadership value. Another good thing to have on this team, especially a young secondary like that. We were missing that leader. He could be the leader of that secondary.
Oh, yeah. Group. He definitely can. So far in his career, 5 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, and 301 tackles in 4 seasons. So has a long career ahead of him, and the Giants got him on a 3-year deal. It's a great move by New York there. I'm so excited to see. Like I said, on paper, it looks really good. We'll have to see what the play on the field is.
Right.
I haven't seen much film on him. But he is actually known for one of the moments he's known for is actually the 99-yard pick six against the Jets.
That was him.
That was him
on Black Friday.
The Hail Mary, yes, that was him. I know.
That guy owed me so much money.
No way.
I had the first half over, and it was gonna miss until he ran back that touchdown.
Oh, you love.
Oh my God, I love this guy so much. I did not know that was him. I love him so much more now. I might get a jersey.
Hey, that might happen.
I might have to.
Man. You might have to. And the man won you money. He's now a Giant. So thank goodness. I love your reaction when you found out he was the guy. But yeah, that was one of the moves the Giants made. Another move they made on the defensive side of the ball in the secondary as well is Paulson Adebo, 25 years old. Very, very good player. Has played 51 out of the 52 games he could have played for the New Orleans Saints. 10 career interceptions. Was first last year in forced incompletions and fourth in interceptions. And actually, to be exact, in the past 2 years, he's been first in forced incompletions and fourth in interceptions in the past 2 years. He led the NFL in 2023 in terms of forced incompletion rate, 6'1", 192. Immediately fills in as the CB1 for the Giants, barring any other moves the Giants want to make. I don't think they'll make any more corner moves. So it looks like we head into next year with the Debo, Banks, and Phillips as your 1, 2, and 3 at corner. Not bad.
That's incredible. That's an incredible 3 right there.
I like that. I do. Adebo's a young guy as well. So, like I said, age matters a lot for the Giants signings. And Adebo's a young 25-year-old corner. A lot of potential. I think it's not so much that there's upside to him, but rather you're getting an established corner who really hit. The only downside was his injury, with the femur injury and stuff. But other than that, when he's on the field, he's fantastic. So.
He's exactly what we need, and he can help out Banks a little bit too, because they're similar in age. They can relate a little bit, and that will help them build chemistry on the field. And with Banks not being the number one, cornerback anymore, he kind of go with those number 2, number 3 receivers, and kind of have, I don't want to say an easier time defending him, but he won't be going against such a talent difference. It's not gonna be him on Justin Jefferson anymore. It's gonna be him on a Jordan Addison or, like a KJ Osborne when he was still on the Vikings. I know he's not on the Vikings anymore, but you know what I mean? Like he's kind of taking the step back and kind of can work on his skills more when he's not, so much pressure to lock down the number 1 receiver on their offense.
Yes, it gives Banks to kind of just settle in as a CB2 and not have to worry about guarding the other team's best receiver. Adebo is a man coverage corner, light on his feet, has good press coverage skills. He's a sticky type of corner. Even though there's times where he's beaten, as all corners are, but he has great acceleration and he's very athletic to recover. So I'm very happy with that move for sure, to say the least. It was a great way to kick off the Giants free agency. Yesterday, I should say. But the other moves we made yesterday, question marks, I guess. We'll start with defensive tackle Roy Robertson Harris, 2 years, $10 million. I do, and this is nothing against him. I don't hate him in any way. I just think if he has to start, I don't know.
Yeah, it reminds me of Nuchis Roach's signing. It's like not great.
I really hope we address that position in the draft. I don't know if it will sign anyone else on the defensive side of the ball, especially at the tackle position. But we need someone else to pair up with Dexter Lawrence, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, we do run a 3-4 defense, so it's not really needed to get into the D tackle. But in case Lawrence goes down,
but Lawrence is so much better when he had Leonard Williams behind him.
And that's who I definitely miss, to say the least. But he's going to be in Seattle for quite some time, so hopefully we'll draft someone with I don't know if we sign
4th round pick, 3rd round pick.
Yeah, I mean, hey, obviously,
because first is going to be probably Travis Hunter, probably like a dual Carter.
Weird. What? Yeah, does
because Tennessee seems to love with Cam Ward. I don't see the Browns passing on a quarterback, and then that leaves us at 3.
Yeah, Tennessee made a good move to get Dan Moore, who goes to left tackle now. He was the best tackle on the market, and Tennessee paid him a good amount of money to be their tackle. And that moves J.C. Layton to the right side, so whoever's playing quarterback has better protection compared to last year when Will Levis was dying back there. Let's be honest. But yeah, I think if we had the luxury, a guy like a Mason Graham would have been nice to have or to look to draft. Not saying it's out of the picture, but I just feel like he might be off the board by the time we get a chance to pick him.
Unless the Giants trade back.
Yes.
But I don't know what team is going to want to trade up. Unless the team is infatuated with Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Which they hopefully should. I've seen a lot of...
It can be, but not bigger than a 2nd round pick.
I've seen not a lot, but a few mock drafts, having Shooter just fall to the 28th, 29th
That's
overall
crazy.
pick. I'm just like, come on, dude.
No.
It's
Shooter's not... if Shedeur falls, he's not falling outside the top 10. A team will trade up to catch him.
To get him.
Yeah.
If they see him fall, they'll do anything. And the Raiders, if they see him, they'll be like, we'll give him a year to develop behind Geno Smith. And
I think you just do the Aaron Rodgers method. Aaron Rodgers had for 3 years behind Brett Favre.
Yeah. So
Jordan Love for 3 years behind Aaron Rodgers. Like
waiting sometimes is a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Penix had to wait behind Kirk Cousins and it got some playing time towards the end of the year and looks pretty good. So waiting
Patrick
is
Mahomes
sometimes
had a full year before he got in.
Yeah. Sometimes waiting is the best option. So is that always bad to wait?
No.
Is that always bad?
Trial by fire isn't always the best.
Exactly.
Some guys it is. Some guys thrive in that. Other guys don't.
It all depends. It all depends. But yeah, Robertson Harris, he's a depth piece, 9-year veteran, 2 sacks, 20 tackles, and 5 QB hits last year in 17 games. Was released by, I think by Seattle. But yeah, he's just a depth piece. If he starts, we're in trouble. But yeah, I'm just with that move for sure. Chauncey Golston, third-round pick by the Cowboys. I like that guy. 5.5 sacks last year. 64 appearances in the regular season. He can play defensive end and tackle.
That's why I love about him. He's got that flexibility where, like, okay, because I saw it, like, Skinner broke him down. Like, in early downs, he's on the outside, but third downs, fourth downs, you move him to the inside. Maybe that's defensive tackle. They're going to line up behind
maybe
Lawrence, because it's kind of a similar thing to Williams, where Williams could play outside, but he could was better inside.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I like the move for sure. It's one of the when Cowboys fans were asked about it on social media, they're like, "Yeah, that's a bad move," and I'm like, "Cowboys fans are miserable." So let's be honest.
I don't trust Cowboys fans with anything. They're also Mavericks fans, so they're just miserable in general. I wrote a great article on Williams Sports about Dallas sports yesterday.
I'll check that out, and everyone should go check that out on BetUpSports.com. But yeah, Golston 15th in run stops last year with 21 of them. So yeah, and he can get to the quarterback. So he's a good signing. It's a
perfect depth move because he can just do anything.
Yeah, 3 years, 19.5.
Kirk Cousins is the Browns' #1 option right now.
Oh boy, maybe that's a good thing. They sign Cousins. They don't have to get a quarterback or in the draft, which leaves us to get one.
Possibly.
I did hear that Golston signing with us kind of means the end for Azeez Ojulari.
Yeah.
So,
but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I love Azeez. I really wish it worked out here, but it was just so injury prone that like I can't give you a contract knowing that you're just gonna go down again.
Yeah.
Which is why I think he's still sitting out there. The injury concerns are that big.
So thank you, Azeez. We appreciate you.
You were fun. You were a fun guy. We all hyped up when we drafted you out of Georgia.
Yeah, but just your injuries and everything. Oh, AJ Dillon. He's gonna be fully cleared and will be ready to return to the field.
There you go. Good for him.
So good for the Packers. Good for the Packers. All right. And then James Hudson. Let's see, 2 years, $12 million. For him, he is a swing tackle. Sorry, I'm not happy with this one either. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's a nothing move for me. It's just like
if he starts, we're in trouble. So he better be healthy as fudge on that O-line. He's not that great. Last year, 40.2 pass blocking grade according to PFF, a 57 run blocking grade, so that's average still. 2 sacks allowed. He can get out of his stance quick. Thank you to Bobby Skinner, just a paddock again, by the way, for that film. Otherwise, he's pretty bad outside of that.
Yeah.
Please don't start. Oh my God. Just be a swing tackle and be fine. And then finally, Darius Slayton back with the Giants. Yep. 14.7 yards per reception in 2024. So he's still the deep threat that we all know him for. 2 touchdowns last year only, but had 573 receiving yards, 39 catches. Less pressure on him. That since Malik Nabers was a leading receiver. But in his career has over 250 receptions, I should say, over 3,800 yards, 21 touchdowns during his time here with the New York. And he, along with Deshaun Lawrence, are tied as the longest tenured Giants. Or no, Lawrence is longer, but Slayton is the second longest, I should say. I'm happy he's back.
Didn't they come in at the same time?
I
think Lawrence.
Right, my apologies.
I mean, like,
Thank you.
technically Lawrence is longer tenure because he was drafted on a Thursday, and Slate was drafted on Saturday.
So I was technically
he's like
right.
48 hours longer.
So technically, I guess he was the longest tenured Giant. But let's see. Kevin, talk about Pokemon.
Talk about Pokemon.
Oh, come on, Kevin. Let's be honest, Kevin.
Oshawott is the greatest Pokemon of all time. Starting Pokemon of all time.
I don't know
Don't fight
anything
me on
about
it.
Pokemon.
I love Oshawott.
I'm terrible, bro.
Oshawott or Inferno. What was his? I know it's Monferno, and I forgot what the chimpanzee. It's the monkey one. The fire type monkey.
You're asking the wrong dude. The only Pokemon I know is. No,
I love Pokemon.
As a kid, it was like Disney cars for me.
Oh no, Pokemon cards and Pokemon Black on the DS, Pokemon Heart of Gold, Pokemon Diamond. Don't get me started. Bro.
My best friend, his name is Josh. He does Pokemon Go still, and I have no idea. I'm like, dude, really?
Pokemon Go got me in trouble. I was a camp counselor when Pokemon Go came out, and there were times we just run. I'll never forget. We had like our kids come in, and my friend was running the group behind me, and he goes, "Brian, can you watch my group for me for 2 seconds?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." What's up? He goes, "There's a Pikachu like 2 feet away," and he rounds out the room. I'm like, I guess I'm watching 2 groups right now.
Just to get
I watched them group for 35 minutes. I'm like,
just for him to get his Pikachu.
I'm like, did you at least get his? Like, no. I'm like, so I watched 2 groups of 7-year-olds for 35 minutes for nothing. He goes, yeah, pretty much. Like, I hate you.
Kevin, that was your Pokemon story for the day. You're welcome. Appreciate you, by the way, for watching. But yeah, other than that, Slayton's back for the same amount of money that Palmer's getting. I heard that we were getting Joshua, or we were looking at getting Joshua Palmer. So let's be honest, that would have disappointed me if we got Palmer.
Chimchar. That was the fire type's name I like. Chimchar. That was his name.
We're still.
It was upsetting me. I didn't know his name.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just surprised we're talking about it. That's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, those are the Giants' moves so far. If anything happens in the next 2 days, you can follow the free agency tracker on bellyupsports.com, courtesy of me, yours truly. We'll tweet a link out to it on all our socials, my social too. I'll tweet out right now. I've got it pulled up. So why, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And then I'll try to write some stuff for the Giants. Well, I might save my article in terms of the Giants free agency signings for once it kind of just dies down. Let's let all the moves come in first. Exactly. But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on Thursday in terms of any more Giants moves that happen from now until then. So, but that's it for the NFL. Unless we hear more things.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, unless Aaron Rodgers signs, we'll see what happens there. So, all right, baseball, a little dinger action. I
mean, like, it's spring out right now. I don't know where you are, but up here it's 63 degrees. It's beautiful.
We are approaching.
I'm gonna wear shorts and a t-shirt when I go walking downtown today. Cannot wait.
There you go.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, nice. It's sort of sunny here, so I'll definitely be going out later. But yeah, baseball the regular season is almost here. It's almost here, and this is the second of 3 parts of our NFL season preview.
MLB.
What did I say?
NFL.
Thank you very much. MLB season preview. My goodness.
I love the NFL, but I'm not ready.
I can't wait for
that. I would like summer. I would like summer first, please.
And then the NFL.
I would like to go to the beach.
Yeah, first. Yeah. So,
I like to play around the golf.
So let me enjoy my summer first, and then we can go.
Let me play golf and go to the beach just once. I can do it once, and then I'll be back for football. But I would like to at least have a week where I can play golf and go to the beach.
Yeah. So, but this is I don't know. I don't feel too excited to talk about the AL and NL Central, but we have to, so we might as well.
Some fun teams.
We'll start.
Some fun teams in there.
We'll start with the AL Central.
Right,
who they won the division last year. I mean, the Guardians won the division last year at 92-69. Um, yeah, the lineup looks like this: Steven Kwan, Kyle Manzardo, Jose Ramirez at third base, Carlos Santana, Lane Thomas, Will Brennan, Bo Naylor, Gabriel Reyes, and Brian Roquillo at shortstop rounds up
Don't
the
love that lineup.
starting
They
nine.
lost Jimenez and Naylor. Those are two big
That's right.
losses that I don't think they really filled this offseason. That lineup's a lot
Mhm.
weaker than it was last year. You got Jose
Yeah,
Ramirez, which helps a lot, and Steven Kwan's great, but outside of that, shaky.
it's not much
No.
there for Cleveland. So their
They're,
offseason,
they're banking on those pitching, which they have they've for years been one of the best pitching spots in the league, but I just don't think their pitching can help them this year like it did in the years past.
yeah, they did re-sign Shane Bieber, who's still rehabbing. But you mentioned Jimenez gone, Josh Naylor gone. They're betting on guys like Luis L. Ortiz and Slade Saccone to kind of step up in the rotation, and the rotation looks like this for the Guardians. I just had it right here. Tanner Beebe, Luis Ortiz, Gavin Williams, Ben Lively, and Tristan McKenzie. So, yeah, that rotation is
good. He's just very
he's
raw.
good. Yeah, he's a raw, and he's out of minor league options. So
he's got to stay up.
Yeah, so if he struggles, it's not out of the blue that he might get released. But yeah, I mean, I don't know for the Guardians.
I think they're a third place team.
Yeah.
Second, but they'd be second because other teams in front of them collapse, not because of anything they do.
But it's to the point where it's like looking at the Central itself, the Guardians might repeat, honestly.
I don't know. I think the Royals are really good. I think this is the Royals. I think this is the Royals division.
All right. And we'll talk about the Royals actually right now. Yeah. It's an average off season. But they did sign a few guys. They signed Jonathan India.
Love that move.
Yeah, okay.
I love Jonathan India. I think he's one of the most underrated players in this league.
Okay,
he's just a pure contact hitter is what he is.
There you go. Okay, I was gonna say like what stands out about him, but you just answered my question for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did trade Brady Singer for India, but like you mentioned, it's a good move there. They also signed Carlos Estevez, who is a reliever. I know him from the Phillies. And then they brought back Michael Lorenzen. So that's a good move there as well. They also pair Estevez with the pickup last year of Lucas Urseg, who was a former Athletic. So I recognize him as well.
Yeah.
And then Joey Werner, who is a outfielder for the who comes from the Singer trade. He's going to be in the outfield. So we'll see what happens with that. But they didn't really get a veteran, like a capable veteran bat this offseason. So the lineups looks like this: India, Bobby Witt, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, MJ Melendez.
On those two would be the power department.
Yeah. Hunter Renfroe, Michael Massey, Michael Garcia, and Kyle Isbell round up the starting 9. And then rotation-wise, Cole Reagans, Seth Lugo. Wow, he's still pitching. Sorry, he's an old dude to me.
No, he is. He's made his debut in 2016. Been around the league for a little bit, but he was a reliever for a while, so he doesn't have the taxation on his arm that like normally a pitch like that would have.
Okay, he just looks old then.
He looks old. And his question is, if he can repeat, I don't think he can repeat because he was like almost a Cy Young Award winner last year. But if you can settle into like a decent like mid rotation guy, I think the Royals will be fine.
He was a good fantasy pitcher for me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Pitcher, yep.
Michael Wacha, Lorenzen, and Chris Bubek round out the starting rotation. But it will be a competition for that 5th spot between Bubek, Daniel Lynch, and Alec Marsh, who is still recovering from right shoulder soreness. And then whoever doesn't win that starting that 5th position will likely move to the bullpen. So we'll see what happens there. For the Tigers, with Matt Vierling out for opening day and Park Meadows questionable with a nerve issue, we'll see what their lineup looks like at the top. But if everyone is healthy, it looks like it's going to be Meadows, Torres, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter, Colt Keith, Jace Young, Wenzel Perez at right field, Javier Baez at shortstop, and Jake Rogers at the catcher position. Offseason wise, they made some moves. They re-signed Jack Flaherty to a 2-year, $35 million deal. I like that move as well. They landed Gleyber Torres for about $15 million, and then they signed Alex Cobb, and they also signed Tommy Nail he was a bullpen guy for 7.75 million.
Yeah.
So
Decent
solid
team,
offseason.
solid offseason. Still feels like they got some work to do. They're gonna be like fourth in the division.
I like their 1-2 punch of
Yeah.
Screwball and Flaherty at the top, but other than that, Reese Olson's he's good. Jackson Jobe, I think he's a
Yeah.
young guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And Casey
Yes,
Mize,
they made the playoffs last year, but this is like a team that went on a miracle run, like an absolute miracle run to make the playoffs last year.
Yeah, fair enough. So but they have a shot, to say the least. Though, if anything, same thing last year, right? Wild card spot, if anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
They're close because the AL isn't great, not because they're a great roster. You know?
So it's the league itself. Or
the league itself, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Minnesota, 82 and 80 last year. Kind of a off season. They signed Harrison Bader, Ty France to 1-year deals. Depth
guys
pieces,
I like,
to say the least.
Not needle movers at all. Nice depth guys to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. Jose, Santana's. I mean, Carlos Santana. My apologies. Where did I get Jose from? They didn't really replace him at first base, so the lineup looks like this: Matt Wallner, Carlos Correa, Brian Buxton, Trevor Larnach, Royce Lewis, Jose Miranda, Brooks Lee, Ty France. Like I just mentioned, he's a 1-year deal guy, so I guess he replaces Santana, but not a really good upgrade.
Deal for him.
Yeah, not much of an
upgrade.
France
was really good for Seattle for a couple of years there. He just fell off. So if he can replicate what he had, the Twins got someone.
Yeah, I just not much of an upgrade, to say the least. But we'll see.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Ryan Jeffers is at catcher, but rotation wise, Pablo Lopez, Bailey Ober, Joe Ryan, Chris Paddock, and Simeon Woods Richardson round up the starting rotation.
More Mets prospect traded for Marcus Stroman, actually.
All right. Health. If everyone's healthy, pretty good rotation.
That's it.
It's a talented. Yeah.
The Twins would be the favorite to win the division, and they probably are, if you could bank on everyone being healthy. But from what we've seen over the past 5 years with the Twins, you can't do that. You can't bet on Buxton playing 120 games a year. He's going to miss 60 games, you know? Yeah. Lopez is going to get hurt. Correa's been banged up in the past. Like, this is a team that's got a lot of injury concerns, which is why I can't put them at first place for me, because I think a lot of their key guys are going to miss extended periods.
But it's a talented group if they're all
healthy. They could stay healthy, they are the lock to win the division. But I just don't think they can. So I had the Royals finishing ahead of them.
Okay. And we all have this team as our last place team, the Chicago White Sox, who finished with an abysmal 41 and 121 record.
The worst record in modern history. Thank you for vindicating the 1962 New York Mets. Thank you. We don't get talked
a lot of good things with the Mets last year. They don't have the losing record no more.
No.
And
by the way, I just want to say that was the first season in franchise history. Okay, that makes it even worse for the White Sox. It's like, yeah, we expected that to happen.
But man, that was a terrible team last year. They got Will Venable. He's a new manager. Martin Perez, Josh Rojas. Austin Slater were a few notable additions.
Cool.
Yeah, they didn't cash in on trading Luis Robert last year. If there's any value with him,
Roberts is he doesn't care. It's turned a lot of people off. Which, I get it, but if you look at his numbers from the first half to the second half, there's a major drop off because he just stopped caring when the White Sox are going on that losing for the losing record.
If there's anyone that needs a change of scenery,
it's him. Yep, it's 100%. He needs to go to a contender and he'll turn it back on.
Exactly. Where? I don't know, but lineup: Mike Tallman, Josh Rojas, Luis Robert, Andrew Vaughn, Benintendi, Miguel Vargas, Michael A. Taylor, Colson Montgomery, and Corey Lee are the top 9. Rotation: Jonathan Cannon, Martin Perez, Davis Martin, Bryce Wilson, and Sean Burke. Let's be honest, I know none of those guys except Martin Perez.
This team's going to lose 120 games again.
It's safe to say. They're not going anywhere.
No.
Not at all. If I had to predict the standings for the Central, I will go with I'll go Guardians, Tigers, Royals, Twins, White Sox.
I got Royals, Twins, Guardians, Tigers, White Sox.
So you have the Guardians going from division winners to like maybe a wild card spot, if anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. That's at least. All right.
Little shake
On
up.
to the a little shakeup, yeah. On to the NL Central, to be exact. Brewers 93-69 last year. Very excited to see Jackson Chorio in another year for the Brewers. But this offseason, they didn't really. I don't know. Nestor Cortez was their biggest move, I guess.
That's not really something.
They lost Willie Adames to the
I've
Giants.
watched a lot of Nestor Cortez. It's nothing.
Losing Adames hurts, obviously.
Yes, that's a big loss.
Yeah, they'll have to depend on whatever they got. I mean,
Also,
Williams
the
is
minors
gone
can
too.
call up and be good. It's basically what it is.
Maybe their lineup looks like this: Bryce Terang, Jackson Chorio, Christian Yelich. Hopefully, he can continue or get things going and be good again. William Contreras, Garrett Mitchell, Reese Hoskins, love Reese, Sal Frelick, Joey Ortiz, and Oliver Oliver Dunn. My goodness, as at third base to round out the 9. And then for the rotation wise, it's going to be Freddie Peralta, Nestor Cortez, Tobias Myers, Aaron Savale, and Aaron Ashby. And hopefully we'll see Brandon Rootruff in the mix at one point, but he needs to come back from his right shoulder injury surgery that he did in October of 2023. But if he's healthy, he definitely fills in that number 1 spot. And I see Ashby, I guess, falling out of the rotation. Or maybe they're on a 6-man.
I think he goes 2 behind Peralta. I think they're going to keep Peralta as their ace.
Okay. But other than that, yeah, I mean, they'll contend in the Central, but this offseason not a lot of
not what they needed to do. They needed they needed to bring back Adames as a big one, and then get another free agent in here, and they just didn't do that.
They didn't do it, so no, we'll see how they do. But
because you had a wide open division, I just don't get why you don't spend. You won a division last year; it's wide open. Just go for it.
Exactly. Just because you won the last, just keep your pedal on the metal. And they didn't really do that. So
no.
The Cardinals, 83-79 last year. St. Louis. Yeah, they got
a nice young core of guys, but they're just not a good team still.
They didn't add anyone.
No.
I was looking at The Athletic the other day, and I was looking at all the offseason grades for the all 30 teams, and they gave the Cardinals an F.
Yeah, that's fair.
They have like key additions and key departures, and under key additions, it's none. So they really didn't add.
Brad Wilson, hot dog vendor,
new bathroom soaps,
bathroom attendant.
Yeah, new sodas. I don't freaking know what.
No sodas. Backfires. PTSD for Giants fans.
Oh right. Was it large? Was it no? It was a medium Pepsi.
Wasn't even a large. Could you spring for the large, medium?
Maris cheap butt. I swear to Bob. But yeah, for the Cardinals, looks like this. Mason Wynn.
Sorry, the season sucks. Here's a free medium Pepsi.
No refills. What?
No refills. So you're giving me a can of Coke.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the starting lineup for the Cardinals: Mason Wynn, Alec Burleson, Wilson Contreras, Nolan Gorman, Ivan Herrera, Brandon Donovan, Jordan Walker, Lars Nootbaar, and Michael Ciani are your 9. And then Sonny Gray, Andre Palante, Eric Freddy, Michael McGreevy, and Miles Nicolas round out the rotation.
Talk about a guy that's fallen off, Nicolas.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the A's of that Cardinals staff, and it just completely imploded.
So, a very right-handed heavy rotation.
Yeah. I think it's the Cardinals' biggest need, because they have an interesting starting lineup. I don't want to say good, but it's young and can be good, but their pitching staff needs a lot of work. Like, I like Sonny Gray. I like Sonny Gray as my 4th or 3rd starter. I do not like him as my ace.
Yeah, the fact that I think also Palante, he's a reliever turned starter. So.
Yeah. I mean, it could work. Clay Holmes has looked really good so far in the Mets uniform.
Yeah.
Seth Lugo was a reliever.
You're giving Cardinals fans hope.
No, they shouldn't have hope.
Yeah, but you're giving them because you're saying Clay Holmes can do it, so you're like, why can't Palante do it?
I mean, yeah, why can't he do it? But I think the Cardinals need a lot more than just him to turn it around to be good. They need a lot of pitching help. They need an ace.
And for him to be the number 2,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
rough.
that is rough to say the least. Chicago Cubs 83-79. Lineup looks like this: Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, Seiya
Big move.
Suzuki, Michael Bush, Dansby Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, John Birdie,
He's
Matt
gonna
Shaw, and Miguel
Pico
Rivera.
Armstrong. That's the guy to watch this year. That's a
Okay.
guy who's going to light the league on fire, I think.
Good to know. Good to know. I will keep my eye on that for sure. Yeah, this
Also,
offseason.
have you ever seen the movie Little Big League?
I have not, my friend.
So it's about the kid who becomes the manager of the Twins, the owner of the Twins becomes the manager of the Twins. Very famous 90s movie. The mother in that movie is Pico Armstrong's mom. Yep.
You don't say.
Yep. I swear to God.
The world is small in it.
Yeah. Yep.
Look at that. Oh, shoot. Damn. Fun. That's a fun fact.
So she played, a mom of a major league manager in a movie. Now she's the mom of a major league player.
An actual major league player. I tell you that. Shout out to the Armstrong family. How about it? But
great movie. If you've never seen it, absolutely check it out. It's on I think it's on Disney Plus. Great, absolutely. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Thank God I have Disney Plus, man. That's one streaming service I like. I will say that for sure.
The Disney Plus has got a good selection.
Yeah, it does. It really does. But yeah, the Cubs, good offseason. Kyle Tucker.
Great offseason. They're a team that saw the division being wide open. It's like, we're going to take a shot here.
Yeah, and they got a good shot. You got Tucker, Ryan Presley in the rotation, Matthew Boyd they added as well. They lose Cody Bellinger and everything. They were in on Alex Bregman.
Bellinger had dropped off. If you look at his first season in Chicago and his second, the numbers plummeted. Two different. It's which one are we getting? Are we going to get this one or are we going to get that one?
So they thought that he was going to fall off, so they let him go and they replaced him with a good player and Kyle Tucker, to say the least. So Nico Horner, though, he's going to be out likely for the Tokyo series because of his right forearm injury. So John Birdie will be kind of the temporary guy at second base. Justin Turner will get some time at first base as well. And then Amaya and Carson Kelly will kind of share duties at catcher. And then rotation-wise, Imanga, Talion, Steele, Matthew Boyd, and Colin Ray. I ran out the 5. And they do have guys like Jordan Wicks and Ben Brown in the running for that 5th spot. But overall, the Cubs are a team that definitely improved this offseason and have a chance to win the division for sure, to say the least. So, Reds, 77-85 last year. Ellie De La Cruz they run Corona. An exciting team. The Ellie De La Cruz makes the Reds an exciting team to watch. They added a few guys this offseason as well. Outside of Francona, like you mentioned, Brian, they added Brady Singer, Gavin Lux, and Taylor Rogers into their team. They brought back Nick Martinez as well. Rogers comes from the Giants as a reliever. They almost got Luis Robert in a trade, and that thing can still happen. Oh yeah, that can still happen for sure. I think the Reds, if they get him, I think that makes them a serious contender. I mean, right now as they stand, Matt McLean, De La Cruz, Tyler Stevenson, Spencer Steer's a good player. Jaime Candelario, TJ Friedel, Gavin Lux is good as well. Austin Hayes, Jake Fraley. It's a good team.
Francona, who is a good manager. He, led those Red Sox teams. He led those, at the time, Cleveland Indians teams to the World Series. He's a very good manager that can work with a young ball club that they have. They just need that veteran in there.
It's a good team. It's a good team.
It's a very good team.
Yeah. And rotation wise, I love Hunter Green. He's a good one. He's good, man. He's the
ace. The cover of Sports Illustrated at 16.
Yeah, like he had big things going, and look, I know he struggles at times, with control, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
But when he's on, man. So he's the ace. Brady Singer, Nick Martinez, Nick Lodolo, and Rhett Lauder round out that 5. Andrew Albert is also a name to watch in that group. But overall, the Reds, definitely a better team than we think.
They're sneaky.
They're a sneaky team to contend in the Central. And then finally, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are known for Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn, but there's so much more to this team than that. But the Pirates this offseason, kind of an average offseason. They got added first baseman Spencer Horwitz. They signed Tommy Pham. They got Caleb Ferguson. But the main thing for this team and what they'll rely on this year is that rotation and that 1-2 punch of Skeens and Jared Jones. Man, that's a good two right there. I tell you that. Mitch Keller also is a guy to watch in that rotation. The rotation don't look that bad. I mean, look, Skeens, Keller, Jones, Andrew Heaney, Bailey Falter. That's a good five.
1, 2, 3.
That's a good five.
Yeah, it's a good five, but that 1, 2, 3 is dominant. Give him a good.
Yeah.
If you took the Cardinals lineup and the Pirates pitching staff, you have a World Series contender.
That's a contender right there. And we're not criticizing the bats too much for the Pirates. I mean, they do have guys like McCutchen, Reynolds, Cruz, Bart.
But
that's top four.
How much can you really expect out of McCutchen right now? Like McCutchen's just there because he wants to play baseball, and the Pirates want to keep the legend around. He's a good mentor to have. Yeah. But outside of that, he doesn't give you much value.
Yeah, he's just your DH, which can be easily replaceable at any any point in time. But yeah, so lineup, McCutchen, Reynolds, Cruz, Bart, Gonzalez, Triolo, Hayes, Pham, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa are your 9.
IKF is a sneaky, he's not a good player, but he's a nice player to have on your bench because he's the kind of guy that you just will ask and he'll do anything. Like he'll play all over the infield, all over the outfield, and he's willing to catch. He is the ultimate utility man.
But yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to think about it, and if I had to predict the Central here,
it's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I thought it was gonna be easy. I'm not gonna lie to you, but looking at everything and listening to you talk about the teams, I'm just like, maybe
because every team is bunched together. It's like, all right, I can really see any one of these teams going. Like for me, I have the Cubs winning it. I think they're the best team.
Okay.
Then I'll probably go Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and I really don't love St. Louis in last.
But it's just like it's so like they're gonna be close together.
I think the bottom 3 are interchangeable.
I think if anything, like the gap between the first place team and the last place, maybe like 15 games, and I think
it's lower than that. I think it'd be 5.
Really?
I think it really could be. I think the Cubs are good and will probably win the division, but like I think it's gonna come down to that last week, and I don't think like by mid-August we're gonna see the first team get eliminated or like eliminated.
So the Central may be an interesting division than we think.
It's going to be interesting because all the teams there's no dominant team. But there also isn't like a great team in that division. Like the AL West is fun to watch because it's going to be 3 really good teams fighting each other. Same thing with the NL East. Same thing with the AL East. The Central is just like, these are all 5 kind of good to mediocre teams that are just kind of going to beat up on each other.
Okay. I get you. Yeah, I'm gonna go Brewers, Cubs.
I think that's the one too. I think no matter what, you have Brewers and Cubs, and then the other 3 are just kind of a crap roll.
Yeah. Brewers, Cubs, Reds, Pirates, Cardinals.
Reds, Pirates, Cardinals. Yeah, I like that.
Reds, Pirates, Cardinals. Yeah.
The Cardinals. We have the same division. We have the same one.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say. So we're honest, especially if the Cardinals trade Nolan Arenado for sure, they'll be last for sure.
I'm shocked he's still on that team.
Me too. But we'll see there what happens with that. But overall, that is your AL and NL Central previews for you. Next week will be very, very fun. We'll be discussing the AL and NL East. So once we do that, we'll release a little graphic of our predictions.
Really, like a playoff prediction thing.
Yes,
like a playoff,
like a standings predictions and all the things. So, once we finish our previews and all the things after next week, I'm excited for next week, and I'm excited for you specifically because when we get to, we'll save the NL East for like the last thing, and then like we'll just have you. Talk about Mets
baseball.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
We're talking about like the position battles. Like I didn't know this was position battle.
It's like there's a position battle at first base. What? It's just like
in the future there will be.
Yeah, there you go.
You're breaking news?
No, I thought it's about Milton Williams not signing, but that was like 23 hours ago.
Oh.
Gosh dang it. Lawrence Butler got what's it called? He got re-signed to the A's, 7-year deal. So we're signing people. Heck yeah, man. I love it. I love it. The A's be signing people. And then Aaron Rodgers.
Talking Giants just tweeted out, "Let's ride."
Nah, don't say it. No.
I 3 minutes ago, "Let's ride."
But we didn't.
They didn't sign anybody, but I don't know. I trust Talking Giants. If they know something, they tweet out, "Let's ride" is very, very, it's very connected to one player.
Oh, see, he's talking about Javon Holland.
Oh, okay.
You scared the fudge out of me.
I just saw "Let's ride." I'm like, what do you mean, "Let's ride"?
Kidding me.
That's on Talking Giants. You can't tweet out "Let's ride."
I think they retweeted Javon Holland saying Giants Nation, let's go. And then they were like, yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot we signed Chris Board. My fault. I forgot when we're signing for the Giants. We signed Chris Board yesterday. He's a linebacker, a special teams guy. Whatever. I don't freaking know. I was okay. Outside of the Adebo and Slayton and Hudson's and the Golson signing, I'm not excited for the other three. I was just lying. But hey, you know what? Prove me wrong. You Robertson, Harris, and Hudson and Board. Maybe you guys will do something to impress us this year, and I'll take back what I said. But other than that, solid offseason for the Giants so far. Oh yeah, we resigned DeVito, our punter Gillian, Tamon Fox.
I like the Fox signing. I like Fox.
Who else we resigned? Cager. Tight end. So give me a B. I'll give the Giants a B off season. So
I give them a B so far. Need a quarterback.
Give me a quarterback. If it's Russ. Oh boy, if it's Russ. Oh boy. We're gonna have a lot of memes on Thursday if we sign Russell Wilson by then. If we sign a quarterback, we may have an emergency show for like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So this may not be the last show you see today if you're watching live.
Yeah.
Which you are. 79 of you.
I was going to say, we got a high view count today. I love it.
And a high view count today. Very, very happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, that'll do it for today's show. Very fun NFL free agency so far. Excited to see what happens the rest of the way. Great moves for the Giants so far, and then we covered our AL and NL Central previews. So, yeah, fun episode to say the least. I was very excited for today's show. Yeah. And, fun stuff. You can follow us on social media. Brian at BrianPG1016. You can follow me at Nathan_Nguyen24. And you can follow our podcast page, 310 Pod, on TikTok, X, Instagram, all the things, clips to be out from this episode. Likely today, tomorrow, all the things. So watch for clips from that. And who knows, maybe you'll see a Pokemon clip because Brian went on a 1-minute tangent about Pokemon.
Hey, Kevin said to. I was giving the fans what they wanted.
That is true. That we had, whatever the fans want, we got them.
Fans want, we give.
So overall, thank you guys so much. This was great to see. 80 views as we speak on Twitter, and many of you, of course, from YouTube as well. We appreciate your support. It means a lot. It gives us, puts a smile on our faces for sure. That you guys take the time to come and watch us. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. More NFL stuff to talk about. We'll give our receiver rankings as well. Is Travis Hunter in our top 5? Maybe, maybe not. We shall see. We'll talk to you guys more on Thursday. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk soon.